Yo guys, welcome back to another video. So now that all of OP08 has the full set list has been revealed, and just before that we've gotten all the SRs and the secret rares, so I wanted to take the time to make this video real quick where I'm not going to be looking at the full set. I'm just going to be looking at the SRs and the secret rares, taking a look at them, looking at all the beautiful awesome altars that we got for this set, and looking at their effects, letting you guys know which ones I'm most excited to play and maybe not excited to play against. And yeah, just take a general look at everything. So without any further ado, let's jump in and let's get started. Alright, so we're starting things off with the GOAT himself, Tony Chopper. 3 costs, 5,000 power, strike, animals, drum kingdom, and straw hat crew typing. During your turn, on play, when attacking, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and play up to one animal type character with a power of 4,000 or less as rested. Then place the rest of the cards on the bottom of your deck in any order. So, actually really strong. I do think this card is really strong. It is important that it's during your turn, so this doesn't work on your opponent's turn because you can play him off of the Shut Up and Come With Us event from OP08, but that's a counter, so it's during your opponent's turn, so you can play him, you just can't get the effect. It would probably be like almost like borderline broken actually, which is kind of crazy if you could do that, because you could just swarm even better. Like Chopper, I think no one's expecting Chopper to be that strong, the leader from OP08. But I've seen some playtesting and like, man, aggro is still aggro at the end of the day, and like aggro swarm with like Chopper and Kalgara I think are actually going to be a lot stronger than people think. So this card's actually really strong. Like if you can consistently find this and see this during your games with the Chopper leader, you actually have a shot of like beating a lot of decks. I don't know how, like don't take my word for it, I don't know how like high up it'll go and like how powerful it'll actually be. But this is a strong card, and I mean, dude, this altar is so good. Oh, I love it. I love the Drum Kingdom because it's all the Sakura like cherry blossoms and stuff. And yeah, the foiling on this one looks amazing too. Like it looks so much better in person. But yeah, I actually think this is a decent card, and this will work well. Like there's gonna be a new like Zoro Animal Rush aggro deck that you can play with some of the new cards from OP08, so I'm excited to see what people cook with that. Okay, and next we got Carrot, another awesome alt art. I love the colors on this one are so good. Like, I mean, I love like kind of orange and green is always such a nice combo, but man, yeah, this is a really dope card. I hope I can pull this in the box or two that I'm getting of OP08. But yeah, it's Carrot. Another super rare 5 cost, 6,000 power, special, Minx typing with this one has a counter, and its effect is on play when attacking, up to one of your opponent's rested cost 7 or less characters do not become active during its owner's next refresh phase. Again, it's another on play and attacking, which is super important here in my opinion, because if it was just on play or even just when attacking, I don't think it would be that strong. But just because you get the consistency of both, where it's like you instant value from the on play and then continued value from when attacking. And I think the thing here is like, I think Bandai is realizing that colors and archetypes like red and green have a lot of trouble playing into decks like black and just like high value colors and decks where, you know, Moria is one of the highest value cards that like 8 cost Moria, right? One of the highest value cards possible in the game. Green has a lot of power cards like 9 cost Zoro and 10 cost Dofi, but it doesn't have a lot of high value cards in the like lower to mid range. And they introduced some new cards like that with Bonnie and some of the supernovas. But I think a card like this was extremely necessary and super important, just to give them a chance. And the beautiful thing here too is like you will be able to attack with Carrot and restand it again at the end of your turn with Zoe, the stage, which is really awesome. So yeah, I'm super excited. Carrot is definitely the leader I'm most excited to try out and play in OP08. And I will be trying to make like a Wano Mink Yamato deck too. So trust me, I'll be out there cooking. I'll do my best to make some fun stuff. But yeah, I'm just this is awesome. I was so excited when I saw this. There's a few other Mink cards. There's a few like uncommons and other decent ones that are the regular rare. I think the Pedro rare, the Inuarashi uncommon, and the Nekomamushi one might be okay, I'm not sure. But there were some new events revealed for the Mink archetype 2 just last night, I think is when it went live. So Yeah, if you're interested in playing carrot or something, like, we might have a shot. We might have a shot. So I'm really excited. But just this card is really strong. It's gonna go well in Perona. It probably will work well in Bonnie as well. So if you like mono green, if you like just green in general, we're finally getting some high enough value cards that you can actually just like consistently play this. And thank goodness it's not leader locked or type locked or anything. It's just a good generic green card with an awesome alt art. All right, next we got the Oyaji himself. Finally getting a 10 cost, finally getting his 12k. Edward Newgate, 10 cost, 12,000 power, special, 4 Emperors, Whitebeard Pirates on play. If your leader's type includes Whitebeard Pirates and you have 2 or less life cards, until the end of your opponent's next turn, all of your opponent's characters cannot attack unless they first discard 2 cards from their hand. So, this is one of those super rares when you read it, you're like, oh my god, this is crazy, bro. Like, this is gonna be so broken. And then you think about it and you're like, it's strong, but like not too crazy. I think this is kind of just gonna live in like green Dofi territory where it's really strong. Obviously, if you have the means to play like 2 of these or even 3 of these back to back to back, you're probably going to win. It's the same for 10 drop Dofi. You know, if you're well off enough to play 2 Dofis or 3 Dofis back to back to back, you're probably going to win the game. It's just a really strong card. But you have to be in the situation to be able to comfortably play it in the first place, which probably means you were at least either going to win anyways, or you were, you know, it was like 50-60% like on your side, and this just tilted it in your favor, and now your opponent can't do anything, right? The thing is this is only characters, so your opponent's leader can still attack. I believe rush characters, I don't think we have the official rulings on some of these, but pretty sure rush characters can still attack for free. They don't have to discard 2. So yeah, I don't know. When you think about it, it's like, who is this really good against? And it's kind of hard to tell. Like, because Anel's got rush, you know, like red, yellow, they've got the rush to deal with it. Black can just like remove it instantly, you know, they can KO it, get rid of it, and just set up a blocker like and attack with leader. So it's like, it's hard to pinpoint like what this is actually really strong against. It's just generically really strong, right? Which unfortunately doesn't always help you. So I would honestly put this like a little bit below 10 drop Dofi. I still kind of personally think 10 drop Big Mom might be the best 10 drop in the game, just like efficiency wise of like how much value you get from playing her. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's cool. We're getting some strong blue Whitebeard cards, and I am interested in playing Marco. That's like the third leader that I'm actually really interested in playing. I'll be making a deck with Marco. I don't know if I'll be running this. I think Rayleigh is probably just better in like 90% of the time, but nonetheless, interesting, cool card. All right, Black Maria, a card that is being speculated right now to be kind of a problem card already. Just thinking about it in decks like Red Purple Law and even like Red Purple Luffy, Mono Purple Luffy, Purple Kaido. There's a lot of crazy shenanigans that this card is going to make possible, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing yet. But it's a 3 cost, 2,000 power special Animal Kingdom Pirates with a 2k counter. I don't know why. This card could have been counterless and it probably would still be broken. And its effect reads, activate main once per turn. If you have no other Black Marias in play, add up to 5 Dawn cards from your Dawn deck rested. Then, at the end of your turn, return Dawn cards from your field to the Dawn deck until the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to the number on your opponent's field. Also, like, kind of hard to wrap your head around like what this effect actually does, but essentially it's like, no matter what, you can get 5 rested Dawn, up to 5 rested Dawn back onto your field, right? Then at the end of the turn, you just put back however many Dawn you have to put back to match to be equal to your opponent. So that means if your opponent has more than you just keep all 5. I believe. I think we're going to need some official rulings for this one too, but this is the main consensus here, is that like, if your opponent has more Dawn than you get free 5 rested Dawn. And wouldn't you know it, that might be really strong in decks like Red Purple Law. Like, It's giving you almost, like with Onigashima and this, you're getting almost free Kaido leader effect, the -7 to trash your opponent's life. Really, really crazy. Dude, like this is gonna be kind of crazy. I don't know. And in like red, purple Luffy, you can like instantly get back a bunch of Dawn the next turn after you play like the 10 cost, and it's just, you know, there's a lot of possibilities, and there's a lot of things that are going to be really crazy with this card. I don't know, like red, purple Law seems like it can use her really good, like really well. It is the thing of like, this does take the spot of another card, you know. So we're gonna have to see like what the most efficient lists are. Like I wouldn't be too surprised if this gets like a little overhyped and then kind of is more of just like a really strong niche tech card. Like I could be wrong, it might just be 4 of in all purple decks that utilize any kind of ramping. But it is a 3 cost, it is only 2k power, which means it's prime target for like essentially any kind of KO. Like even Gonfall from like EV01, if you're at 1 or less life, can KO this. Like it's gonna be, you know, a really easy target for the new Egghead Nami, really easy target for just like resting with like Perona or Carrot effects and then just killing it, like KOing it. Like this card is really easy to get rid of, thankfully, which is good. It needs to be, because if it was like a 5 cost 6k or something with 2k counter, like I don't know, man, that would be crazy. But yeah, it's really crazy card. It's gonna be strong no matter what. I'm interested in to see what people cook with it. But yeah, that's all I have for now for this. All right, now we got Charlotte Linlin. We got another strong Linlin card. Yay! This is a 9 cost, 9,000 power special. Former Rocks Pirates and Big Mom Pirates. On play, Dawn -1. Trash 1 card from your hand. Add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life. Then place up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 6 or less to the top or bottom of its owner's life face up. So it's like a mini 10 cost mom mixed with an 8 cost Katakuri. And you have to Dawn -1 and trash a card, which is good, I guess, but that's not that crazy of a condition to meet, obviously. Like the Dawn -1, essentially by the time you're at 9 Dawn, is free in most purple decks, especially like if you're playing this in King. If you have Onigashima, boom, it's just you're good, you're fine. This might actually be really strong in red, purple Luffy, because you can ramp to 9 really quickly, and the Dawn -1 at that point will be free, because if you haven't used leader effect yet, and then yeah, you have to trash a card, but being a 6k leader and only at 3 life was like one of the stipulations that made it, like kept it from being broken. Being able to heal, like being able to ramp extremely quickly to 9 Dawn and then heal with this is just like, I don't know, it could be really good. So this is another card where it's like, it has a few use cases that are obvious, but I think it has a few other use cases where it's not so obvious, where it's going to be strong in some decks that people might not expect. And I don't think it's super broken or anything. It is unfortunate that it's one of your opponent's 6 cost or less. I mean, I guess like 4. It would have been nice if this was 4 cost or less, because then it wouldn't be that strong. But yeah, like I guess they could have done 5, right? But 6, yeah, 6 is, it's whatever. Man, I mean that hits Hawkins even, which is kind of crazy. Man, yeah, this is a good card. I'm not the biggest purple player in the world, which is why I always see a card like this and I'm like, damn, just another strong card that I have to kind of play around. But it's not the worst card in the world. It's kind of cool. I'm a fan of 7 Linlin, so 7 drop Linlin, so I can't really complain too much because I like to run her in some of my yellow decks. But yeah, strong card, super cool. I like that it has the former Rocks Pirates. I think we're gearing up to eventually someday have like the Rocks Pirates kind of stuff, and I think that's where once they've exhausted more of the like traditional Kaido and Big Mom stuff like they're kind of doing right now, we'll start like going back to when they were younger and have some cool like not even Big Mom Pirates and the 100 Beast Pirates, right? It's gonna be just like Rocks Pirates or former Rocks Pirates, like of just Linlin and Kaido, and I think that'll be really cool. Speaking of the old man himself, this is a really crazy, this art is so crazy, man. He's got like the fucking like Viking Valhalla shit going on here. My guy, Kaido, 9 cost, 9,000 power. Strike attribute, former Rocks Pirates, Animal Kingdom Pirates. Activate main once per turn. You may discard 1 card from your hand. If this character was played this turn, place up to one of your opponent's 7 cost or lower characters in the trash. Then your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. Why? Why would you make this card? Why? I think we're gonna get to it, but even more than like the 10 drop Kaido Linlin card, even more than the 9 drop Linlin, I think this might be the most like, why did you make it? Like the most overtuned SR or card from the set, maybe even. I think I can say that. Yes, you have to discard 1 card from your hand, but this is the crazy thing too. Okay, first of all, just to clarify things here, it's not KO. It's just place it in the trash. So it's like the 6 cost Brook. And the other thing is it's activate main, but it's if this character was played this turn, which essentially just means like it's an on-play effect, but you can use it at whatever point in your turn that you would like to, which just makes it better. It's like they should have just made this on play. I don't know why, like, because this way you have more time to like minus cost things, and you can play this and then use King effect, which is the -2 Dawn. And I get it, I know that's why they're doing it, because otherwise it would have been harder to play. I understand that, because if you had to minus the 2 Dawn to give something -2 with King leader ability, then you wouldn't be able to play this Kaido. I understand that, I get that's kind of what they're working around, but like on the flip side of actually doing that, I think they may have made this overtuned. Dude, it's just crazy. Like, even if you have can't be KO'd like effects set up where your characters would be safe, this card just says, nah, I'm good, I'll just throw you in the trash. So I don't know. 9 cost 9k is the stat lines and everything are okay. I'm just worried. I'm a little worried about this card. I don't think it's as like overtuned as 8 cost Moria, but I think it's just a really strong black card that maybe black didn't necessarily need right now. But we'll see. I could be wrong. I could be a little over apprehensive right here, but it's just hard to see a card like this and be like, like, cause just black is so good. I don't know. The good thing is like probably Lucci decks like Lucci can't really run this card, or like I don't know how well they'll be able to run this card. Stussy is probably just better 9 times out of 10. So at least there's stuff like that where there's too many overtuned black cards, so they have to choose a few and just run with those. But yeah, strong card. It's really good. All right, Jack. This card is, man, why Bandai? 7 cost, 8,000 power / Animal Kingdom Pirates. This character has +4 costs, just because, you know. Activate main, you may rest this card, draw 1 card and trash 1 card from your hand, then KO up to one of your opponent's cost 3 or lower characters. So essentially, it's like if you cannot KO this at being 8,000 power, you're not getting rid of it. It is an 11 cost. Once you play it, it's 7 cost to play, 7 Dawn to play, and then becomes instantly forever is an 11 cost. And that means you need like 2 Ice Ages to get rid of this thing. Yes, you can just like rest it, or while it's rested after using the effect, just swing like swing crazy into this thing and try and get it off the board. Obviously, yes, Red Rocks, Rygos will deal with this thing, but man, it's just a free 3 cost or lower KO. It literally is just free for like as long as this guy is on the board, which means just with King effect, it's a KO of 5 cost or less. So another one that might be a little slightly overtuned, really strong card though. It's cool. Like, this is a cool card. It's weird. It's like they always do this, right, where they make like the answer to the archetype itself within the same archetype, where it's like, oh, black can KO things so well, so let's make a black card that gets +4 cost. It's like, why did you do that? It's like how everyone always says it too, but it's like Banish is really good against yellow, but they gave the best Banish card in Onami to yellow. So like, I get it, but it's also just like, why you do that, Bandai? But yeah, it's a good card, really strong. All right, now we're getting into the yellow territory and the egghead territory, which I am extremely extremely excited about. We got a little S snake. We got snake. You guys remember that video? I'm a snake. Yeah, if you're old enough to remember that one, props to you. That's what I always think of whenever I see S snake. Maybe I'll try and throw it up here for you guys to see. But really good card. 5 cost, 6,000 power, special, Egghead, and Seraphim. So we will have like a cool Seraphim techie like control. Not actually control, but like a cool Seraphim deck like possible in the future. Like kind of like a, you know, thinking of like a pacifista croc build back in the day or something. But yeah, counter 1000 on play. Up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less, other than Luffy, cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. And the trigger is activate this card's on play effect. So you still have to trash it, but you get to activate the effect. It's really strong. This is really, really good, obviously. And the good thing here is like this is pretty much only playable in Vegapunk, because you can just play it for 1 Dawn with leader effect. I don't know if it'll really be that worth it in other decks. It could be, I might be wrong, but the altar is so cool too. Yeah, really cool. It's like the 6 cost blue Hancock, but just in the Seraphim form. And yeah, it's gonna be really strong. We do need some confirmation too on like the cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. So if you do hit this out of like the trigger, people are wondering if it's like for 2 turns or if for when you play it. I can't remember, but I have seen some people pull up there's like a Mr. 2 card from an earlier set where it has like the same type of wording, and the official ruling ended up being that it was not for an additional turn. So I do believe this is only going to be for 1 turn. I am not 100% sure on that, but really, really strong card, and I am so excited to try this in my Vegapunk deck. All right, next we got another card that I'm really, really excited for. Jewelry Bonnie. This is the Egghead one. Really, really cool. 3 cost, 4k power, special, Egghead, Bonnie Pirates, counter 1000. Dawn times 1, your turn, once per turn. When your opponent loses a life, draw 2 cards and discard 1 card from your hand. And the trigger is draw 2 cards and discard 1 card from your hand. So really strong effect here, because if you've tried Vegapunk, if you've played him in OP07, then you know that like one of the main problems is that you just run out of resources very quickly, and you'll have like 5 characters on the board and 2 cards in your hand, and it reaches a boiling point where either like you're like, okay, that means I win, or your opponent just deals with your characters, and then you just don't have enough cards in hand and resources to like finish the game. So this is really, really strong. Just because like and it is only on your turn, which is unfortunate, because if it was just like Dawn times 1, like once per turn, would be really cool, because then if your opponent uses something like Flampe, like it would give you a shot against leaders like Enel and Black Yellow Luffy, because anytime anybody takes their own life for their own advantage, you would get the extra draw. But unfortunately it is your own turn. But it's cool because you can like swing with this, or it's just you can put a Dawn and swing with a different character, and if you get the life. The thing with the Vegapunk that's really strong too is like you're playing out characters very early, which are normally between like 5 to 6k. And so if you like, say if you go first and play this for 1 Dawn, and then on your second turn you play like, you know, another character, by your 3rd turn you can have like multiple, like, you know, if you went first you'd have 5, right? You could do like a 6, like a 9. You could do a 7k swing with Bonnie and a 9k swing with another character. Maybe 6 and 9, but you get my point, right? Like you're gonna have the ability to put a lot of like early pressure, so your opponent's gonna take one, right? Like that's all I'm trying to say, is like it's not hard to get your opponent to take 1 life early game. Late game, I don't really know how good this card is gonna be. I don't know if this card, people are like saying it's really good in Enel, but I really don't know. It's worth testing for sure. The only problem is I don't know how Enel likes to starve a lot of decks. You're not taking a lot of life early game, So if like half of your matchups you're just starving anyways, like I don't really know how strong this will be, but it could be strong mid to late game even, just to get the, you know, the card draw, to make sure you're seeing your 10 drop aces and all that. But yeah, really strong, really cool art, and looking forward to trying this one out too in Yamato as well, just because it could be good, because you're trying to, especially Yamato works well because you're just trying to get, you know, you're trying to take life basically as early as possible and as much as possible. All right, Nami, maybe the card I'm most looking forward to here, just because cool art. It's Nami. I love Nami. She's my favorite Straw Hat. And really amazing effect. So 5 cost, 5,000 power, special egghead, Straw Hat crew, counter 1k. On play, you may trash one card with the trigger from your hand, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Then, if your hand has 3 or less cards in it, draw 1 card. And the triggers activate this card's on play ability, kind of like S-Snake. So, extremely strong. It's like we were all hoping we would get the reject replacement in OP08, and this is it. This is the replacement, and it's not broken. I don't even think this is like slightly overtuned. This is like a perfectly tuned card, because you have to have the trigger in your hand, and if you have a bunch of cards in your hand, you're not going to get the draw from it, right? So I think this is like a perfectly tuned, pretty strong card. It's nice that it's has a counter and it's a 5k. I would definitely be testing this in like a really cheeky like trigger, egghead, aggro like Yamato build, but just really strong in Vegapunk too, because now you have the 5 cost Luffy and Nami, so you can KO in the same turn. You can KO a 4 cost or less and now a 5 cost or less. And the beautiful thing about this too is like, at first you think like, oh, 3 or less cards in hand, like that kind of sucks, like I don't know how often I'm going to be there. But if you're at 5, you play Nami and you discard the trigger card, that puts you at 3 or less cards and you get the draw from that point. So all you need is 5 cards in hand, right? Like you can have up to 5 cards in your hand and you'll get the draw, which is really, really strong, because then you lose 2 but you draw 1 back and you get 4. So it's really strong. And not only that, it's like you're getting rid of things that you probably don't need. Like this will be strong in Katakuri too. I don't know how strong just mono yellow Katakuri will be in OP08, but it is a really strong card, because you can just pitch a Perospero or like a Kikunojo, you know. So if you're running like Cracker or Kikunojo or just anything, right? Any card. It's not just a character card. It's any card with a trigger, right? So in Yamato, you can run a bunch of triggers. In Katakuri, you already run a bunch of triggers. It's going to be really strong. And obviously in Vegapunk, like 90% of your cards are triggers. So it's going to be really easy to activate, and it's going to be really good. I'm super excited for this card. All right, now we got the 2 secret rares. We got Kaido and Linlin. 10 cost, 12k power. Strike special, 4 Emperors, Animal Kingdom Pirates, and Big Mom Pirates. When attacking, -10 Dawn, KO all other characters. Then put up to 1 card from the top of your deck onto your life pile, and trash up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life pile. So it's like, obviously it's like 10 cost Mom, Big Mom, and 10 cost Kaido, like mixed together in a card. And yeah, this is a tough one, because it's like, it's really, really strong. It's really, really strong. And when it first came out, like, I thought it was on play, which would be really, really, I think on play would probably be a little bit stronger and maybe even more broken. But when attacking does give you the ability to kind of like set up for it and stuff. So I don't know. This is one of those cards where like, it's kind of like the 10 cost Whitebeard, where it's like, oh yeah, on paper this sounds extremely strong, but you have to set up for it, and it is very costly. But the thing is like, if you play this and then you just play Sabo the next turn, then none of your characters are getting KO'd. So it's kind of like, it can be really strong. And I know people are saying like, oh, there's so many answers to this, like Raigo and Red Rock, or just play 2 cost Rosinante in your green decks. And it's like, not every green deck can run 2 cost Rosinante and still like work efficiently. I'm not going to tech in that card just to like potentially stay safe from this card, right? But we do have other things now, like the Mink cost, the 1 cost Mink event, where you rest 2 of your characters, and all of your characters cannot be KO'd by effects the following opponent's turn. So there are a little bit more answers here, and it is a very costly card for your opponent to set up with. Again, it's like, if you're playing this card, you're probably already gonna win anyways. So I don't know if it'll actually see play. It could be strong in Pudding. It might be strong in King. I really don't know. It could be strong in like mono purple Kaido. So who knows? Who knows? I'm not really sure. It is a very strong card though. Well, this one's gonna be like, we'll have to see how it does in the testing and when it sees play. All right, the last card here is Silver's Rayleigh. This is an 8 cost 8000 power slash former Roger Pirates. On play, choose up to 2 of your opponent's characters until the end of your opponent's next turn. Give one character minus 3k and the other minus 2k power. After this, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with the power of 3000 or lower. So man, I love Rayleigh so much. He's like definitely, I mean, like, I don't know top 10, but like top 15 probably at least, like favorite One Piece characters. And I think we were all just hoping for a little bit more here. I think at first I was hoping this would have Rush. I was like, man, if they put Rush on this thing, it would be so good, but that actually might make it broken. So I can't, like, what they should have done is should have been an 8 cost 9k. That's all I needed to do, and then it would have just, like, at the worst it would have been a slightly overtuned red card, which, guess what, there aren't a lot of overtuned red cards right now. So, like, I don't know, man. I don't know if this is just like they're trying to be careful and there's going to be some really crazy former Roger Pirates and Roger Pirates cards coming out in the next, like, you know, 6 months to a year, to where like this will be exactly as balanced as it needs to be, kind of a thing. And if that's the case, then I tip my hat to Bandai and I give them recognition for it. If not, I think they just wasted a chance to make a really strong red power card that would have maybe helped the color out right now, you know? I do think maybe Rush would be a little too much now after seeing some playtesting videos and stuff, but I think it could have been 8 cost 9k and no one would have really lost a lot of sleep over it, you know? It is really strong that it's until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you play it, and then those two characters, if they haven't been KO'd, still have the -2 and 3k power to them. So really, really strong. I think this is going to work well in Marco, actually, the new Marco leader, Red Ace. And as a Red Ace stan, I'm super excited. I've been trying to make him work through OP07. I think he'll be a little bit stronger in OP08 with this, so I will definitely be trying him out. I like red. Red, green, and yellow are my favorite colors in One Piece, so, you know, just, he might, I think Dragon's just better in a lot of other situations as far as, like, Zoro or, like, Red, Green, Odin. But Red, Green, Odin doesn't have a lot of KO power, so maybe, like, I'll be trying this out in a lot of different leaders. Just for now, I think Red, Purple, Law, there's one shot. He has, like, one shot at being strong in Red, Purple, Law. It's just you don't get up to 8 Dawn very often, but with Black Maria shenanigans, it might be possible. I think a lot of people are saying that Ace is just better in most situations, the 7 cost Ace, and I think I agree. But he does have a really strong effect, and he will be good in certain decks. Like maybe Red Purple Luffy could run this. Maybe starter deck mono red Luffy comes back. Who knows? It could be kind of a weird situation like that. But really strong. Wish he was a little bit better, but I guess I can't complain too much. And that is it. That is going to be the last card for the SRs and Secret Rares of OP08. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know which ones you guys are most excited to test out, which ones you're gonna just like try and get, maybe collect some of the alt arts. I am super excited for Carrot. I am super excited for the Bonnie and Nami from Egghead in particular. I do think S-Snake is really strong too, so I will be getting that as well. Not a big black, purple, blue guy, but obviously all the red, green, and yellow cards I want, because it's nice because I love Vegapunk. I'm actually being able to play him more. I'm super excited to build Carrot, and I'm super excited to test out some new Yamato builds with some of the Egghead and Mink cards. So yeah, I think OP07 was pretty cool. It was a fun set for me, especially with the new innovations of the Samurai Yamato. But OP08 I think is going to be just as much fun, where it's like I think there's going to be a lot of things kind of shaken up from it, and it's going to be really fun, and I cannot wait to test stuff out. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.